Football wouldn't be the same without local derbies. From Spain to Italy, England to the Americas, these are the biggest derbies in world football. But what kick-started the fierce rivalry between these teams? Whenever they face off, everything seems to come to a standstill as everyone is put on edge. Join us as we explain the origins of these intense encounters. The Derby della Capitale. First up, we have the Derby della Capitale. Picture this. It's 1927, and AS Roma is formed by Italo Foschi, who had the bright idea to merge three smaller clubs to challenge northern Italy's football dominance. But Lazio, already a big cheese in Rome, said, "Nah, we're good," and stayed independent. Cue the rage of Foschi and his fascist pals. They declared Lazio an enemy, setting the stage for one of the fiercest rivalries in football. Lazio's supporters, chilling in the north of Rome, were seen as well-off traitors, while Roma's fans in the south wore their working-class hero badges with pride. Both clubs share the Stadio Olimpico, making it the ultimate roommate horror story. And trust me, the pre-match choreography is like a wild theater production with a football twist. The North London Derby. Next, we're hopping over to England for the North London Derby, where Arsenal and Tottenham duke it out for local bragging rights. This rivalry truly kicked off in 1913 when Arsenal decided to relocate to Highbury, just 4 miles from Tottenham's White Hart Lane. Talk about moving in on someone's turf. 6 years later, when Arsenal secured a place in the First Division at Tottenham's expense, as they were promoted from the Second Division to the First Division after finishing 5th, relegating Tottenham, which finished 20th in the First Division. This set off a feud that makes soap opera dramas look tame. Fast forward to 2001, and Sol Campbell's transfer from Tottenham to Arsenal was the ultimate betrayal. Imagine your best friend joining your arch nemesis. Spurs fans still talk about their 1991 FA Cup semi-final win against Arsenal, while Arsenal fans cherish their league title wins at White Hart Lane in 1971 and 2004. It's like a never-ending game of one-upmanship, though Arsenal seems to have the upper hand with 82 wins compared to Tottenham's 61. The Derby della Madonnina. Moving back to Italy, we have the Derby della Madonnina, named after the Virgin Mary statue in Milan's cathedral. AC Milan and Inter Milan share the San Siro stadium, but it's more like a sibling rivalry with a football twist. The feud began in 1908 over a disagreement about recruiting foreign players. AC Milan wanted to keep it local, while Inter Milan was all about international flair. They split, and it's been a battle for Milan's soul ever since. Think of it as an epic family feud with goals and red cards. Inter Milan may have more Serie A titles, but AC Milan's Champions League haul is nothing to sneeze at. It's like arguing over who gets the last slice of pizza at family dinner. El Clásico. And now, the big one. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. From Tokyo to Buenos Aires, Cape Town to London, the world stops when these two behemoths lock horns. This rivalry has it all. It started in the 1930s when Francisco Franco banned the Catalan language and pressured Barcelona into removing the Catalan flag from their crest. To top it all, his troops executed Barcelona's club president. Barcelona became a symbol of Catalan nationalism, while Real Madrid represented Spanish nationalism. Then the transfer drama of Alfredo Di Stefano in the 1950s, who was initially set to join Barcelona, added fuel to the fire, and Luis Figo's move from Barcelona to Real Madrid in 2000 was the ultimate betrayal. Picture holding a press interview saying you're staying put, then showing up at the Santiago Bernabeu for the presentation. The rivalry peaked in the early 2010s with Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Pep Guardiola, and Jose Mourinho turning every match into a blockbuster. The Old Firm Derby. Moving on to Glasgow, we have the Old Firm Derby between Celtic and Rangers. It's more than just football. It's a centuries-old grudge match. From the deafening roars at Celtic Park to the passionate anthems at Ibrox Stadium, these two teams create an electric atmosphere that's unmatched when the green and white hoops face the royal blue shirts. Celtic symbolizes the Irish Catholic community, while Rangers have the Protestant support. This divide has fueled one of the most intense rivalries in football. Out of 134 seasons, only 18 times has a team other than these two won the title. Imagine competing against your biggest rival every single year. Rangers may have a slight edge in titles, but the gap is closing fast. Comment below which team you support if you're from Glasgow. Just try to keep it civil, folks. The Northwestern Derby. The Northwestern Derby between Manchester United and Liverpool is England's version of the ultimate showdown. Their rivalry dates back to 1894 and has roots in the Industrial Revolution, as both cities competed for dominance in trade. The construction of the Manchester Ship Canal threatened Liverpool's dominance as a major port, sparking off-field tension that quickly moved to the pitch. The atmosphere at Old Trafford and Anfield is tense whenever these two meet. Back in the late 60s, the 90s, and 2000s, United were the team to beat, while Liverpool were the kings of England in the 70s and 80s. United have more league titles, but Liverpool dominates in the Champions League. It's a classic case of
anything you can do, I can do better.
The Super Classico. The Super Classico between Boca Juniors and River Plate is a clash for the soul of Buenos Aires. We are not sure who started hating the other team first, as both clubs started in the La Boca neighborhood, but their paths quickly diverged. Boca Juniors stayed true to their working-class roots, embodying a sense of blue-collar grit, while River Plate moved to the affluent district of Núñez, attracting a wealthier fan base. This created an us versus them mentality that has only grown over the years. The lines are blurred these days, but the hate between them is as strong as ever. The rivalry can get heated, sometimes even violent, but the passionate atmosphere and vibrant colors make it a spectacle. Imagine a fireworks show with footballs flying everywhere. The Clásico. Porto versus Benfica, the North versus the South, is Portugal's fiercest rivalry. During the Estado Novo regime, Lisbon's Benfica enjoyed greater resources, leading to football dominance that annoyed Porto's supporters. Porto, feeling marginalized, sought to challenge this dominance under the leadership of Jorge Nuno Pinto da Costa. Their rise to prominence included 2 Champions League titles in 1987 and 2004, making them a force to be reckoned with. It's like a David versus Goliath story, but with more goals and dramatic flair. The Fla-Flu. Last but not least, we have the Fla-Flu in Brazil. Brazilians are known for their love of football, but when Flamengo and Fluminense face off, there's a divide within the country as sides are chosen. Flamengo and Fluminense started their rivalry in the early 20th century after a dispute led some Fluminense players to join Flamengo. This rivalry is like a telenovela with footballs. The tension was palpable when they first met in 1912, and it's still there today. It's a classic tale of betrayal and passion, with fans taking sides and the atmosphere always electric. Which other derbies would you add to the list? Drop a comment and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video.